Lovely.
Merry Christmas. Welcome.
Oh.
Welcome to the Parapod Christmas special. We're here again, live from the pod. But this time it's Christmas. It's totally different.
It's a Christmas themed pod.
It's a Christmas themed pod.
Look at the tree up.
'Tis the season, tree is up, we're wearing our hats, got our cappies on, got the presents, we're sitting around the tree, eggnog in hand.
By the fire.
Yeah, big fire going here. Very seasonal day today. Very.
Well, kind of. The other day was fucking like. Did you see the mist and all?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Mental.
That was great. The fog. That was so spooky.
It was.
Yeah, I loved it though, because it's like you walk outside and it's just like down the road. You can't even see down the road. It was like Silent Hill or something.
Oh yeah, it was like Silent Hill.
Yeah.
We went to a drive-in cinema and it was misty and like
Oh,
we were like, oh shit, we'll be able to see the fucking screen. Now we were close enough to the screen, but like it was spooky.
That's like a horror movie thing.
Driving around, it felt like, you ever see The Mist?
Yeah.
It felt like that.
It felt like The Mist.
It felt like The Mist. I was convinced like some tentacle was about to come out and grab me.
Yeah. That's grim.
Do you remember the ending to that film?
Yeah, it's really sad. Oh, it's
It's
fucked
so
up.
fucked up.
Yeah. That's not the ending in the book though.
No, it's
Classic Stephen King job.
It's the ending of the film. The film ends completely differently.
Yeah.
That ending is like the grimmest ending I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's also hilarious though.
it's like hilariously bleak.
Yeah.
Like you can't watch it and like feel anything but laugh at how like
Yeah.
stupid it is.
If you didn't laugh, you cry. And if you cried at The Mist, then that's even more laughable. Like,
That actually is.
you know?
That's even bleaker than the ending of The Mist.
Mm.
Is crying to the ending of The Mist. It is a good film though.
It is, yeah.
It is a good film.
It's actually really fucked up when they try to kill your one. Or
when they throw your man out, like they have a little vote and all.
Yeah, and there's like this mad Christian one
Yeah.
who's like trying to like, she's like an evangelist or whatever, and she's like foretelling the end of days, but like you really feel like claustrophobic and trapped inside the supermarket with this fucking crazy bitch who's trying to kill everybody who like questions her. It's really cool.
Yeah, and then outside is these like Lovecraftian beasts that are just floating around.
Yeah, just floating around.
Just literally, some of them are literally out floating around.
Just staring into the shop. Yeah, it's pretty spooky.
It is spooky.
No right to be as good as it was. You know?
You know that film was originally meant to be in like black and white or something.
Was it? That would have been rubbish.
No, because apparently like it adds like a load to like the mood because it's a very like blue palette anyway. So like, I think it was colored that way because it was meant to be. It was meant to be black and white.
Oh, okay.
And so it like translated really well when they did like the Blu-ray black and white version of it or whatever.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
There's a Blu-ray.
And apparently it looks class.
Yeah. I just don't get black and white.
It also adds to hide the really bad effects.
Yeah, I don't
Like
remember the effects being good.
the effects have aged poorly, but
Uh-huh.
like the black and white really like hides that.
Yeah. Black and white though. I just can't get on board.
Except
Can't
except if it's the Lighthouse.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that works. Yeah. But the Mist in black and white, like imagine Shrek in black and white. You know.
I need my green boy.
It suits some films. It doesn't suit others.
Yeah, like imagine watching Logan in black and white.
Yeah.
Even Mad Max.
Mad Max. Yeah, I don't understand why Mad Max was released in black and white as well. That doesn't make any sense.
It's such a colorful film.
Yeah, it's almost too colorful.
Which adds to it, I think, though.
In a way, but the black and white thing, I just don't get it. I don't get it. A lot of Christmas movies are in black and white.
Yeah,
It's a Wonderful Life.
That's what I was thinking
All
of.
them, you know. It's like the old timey
Shrek
sort of
Forever
vibes.
After.
Yeah. Shrek the Halls.
Yeah, like what's your favorite Christmas movie? I think we got a question about this before.
My favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. My favorite Christmas movie. Oh, I love Deck the Halls with Matthew Broderick.
I think you actually did say that last time.
I might have.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
you said that one.
I love Christmas with the Cranks as well, even though it's one of the most hated movies ever with Tim Allen.
I don't remember it.
They're very similar movies. I haven't watched them to be honest in years, but they're just like lovable, just lovable, like
Like nostalgic. Yeah,
comfy Christmas movies. Like I was reading there earlier, just about Christmas films and stuff. I was reading about Christmas with the Cranks, which I didn't know was so poorly received. It has something like 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I didn't know about. But a lot of the reviews focused on the fact that it's basically about conformity, about how you shouldn't try to stick out. But like that's what it's like. Christmas
is that the
Christmas,
one where they try to go away for Christmas?
Yeah. Tim Allen stuff. But like Christmas, those sort of like old Christmas movies, they're all the same. You know, you might as well embrace the conformity of it. You know, It's like it's a vibe. Christmas is a vibe that you place yourself into. It's not necessarily about, you know, being yourself or whatever. It's not Shrek 3, you know.
It's no Shrek 3. Christmas is no Shrek 3.
It's a mode of living.
Yeah.
And Christmas with the Cranks.
Like people change around Christmas. Like they get into Christmas.
Yeah, everyone like adopts like a new skin. Yeah, people change.
That's like that like feeling, like that like comforting feeling is why I love Muppets Christmas Carol. That's my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Which I watched this weekend.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it has the comfort of like obviously like the story of like Christmas Carol, which obviously everyone knows. But it's added with the extra nostalgia of the Muppets. And the Muppets themselves being like fuzzy little creatures adds to the coziness of the entire film.
Yeah, the Muppets are great.
And they're like familiar characters, like.
Yeah, that's it. You don't want to be challenged around Christmas, you know?
No.
You know,
Let something wash over me.
You don't want to watch a film about like analyzing Christmas from like I don't know.
Like Gremlins.
Oh, Gremlins doesn't analyze Christmas. It analyzes consumerism.
Yeah, I saw it way more as consumerism.
Yeah. But, you know, it's just a vibe. It's all about the vibe. Just sort of sit back, as you say, let it wash over you. Drink a bit of eggnog, a bit of wine.
Kind of bathe in it, you know?
Yeah, bathe in it, you know? Let it wash over you.
Let everything soak.
Yeah, let it soak in. Yeah, you know, and just enjoy it. It's great. Yeah, it's like it's also a time of extremes, though. You know?
Excess.
Either you get really depressed... Or some people feel really jolly. I'm usually in the middle, but...
Yeah, usually I'm in the middle. Yeah, because it's a very sad time for people as well. Don't want to get too real in this podcast, but like, you know...
I'd hate to be alone at Christmas, yeah.
Especially this year.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah. This year would be grim. So what have you been watching this week? There's no way out of that.
There was no easy segue.
Talk myself into a hole.
Oh god. But speaking about films that are comforting and easy to soak in, I saw Die Hard this weekend.
That's so soakable.
Which it's a very soaking movie.
Everyone's just wet.
Everyone's just soaking wet. Especially Bruce Willis gets sweaty in this film.
Brucey, yeah, he gets all clammy.
But this is the first time I've ever seen it, because alright, so this is the film I went to go see at the drive-in cinema thing. Cool experience. I've never done that before. I'm sure if you were sitting in the front, it's way better, because if you're sitting in the back, like me and my sister were, you have to lean. It's not comfortable. But we saw Die Hard, and that's the first time I've ever sat and watched the entire film. I've only ever came in and or knocked it on or whatever, and he's already in action.
Yeah, he's already dying hard.
He's already, because I've never seen that. I swear to God, I've never seen the start of this film. I never saw him on the airplane. I never saw him driving to Nakatomi Plaza. And I've never seen him having that conversation with his wife where they start giving out or whatever. I've only ever seen from when Hans Gruber and all come in.
Yeah, Snape, yeah.
And he's great in him.
Yeah, he was great.
He's so good in it. Rip. But it's such a good action film.
It is.
It's so good.
It's one of those they're all great, you know, up until the fourth one. Up until the fifth one, sorry.
Would you say Die Hard is you know, if you look at things critically or whatever, it's the best action film of all time?
Nah, Mad Max for me. I'm a Mad Max guy.
Mad Max Fury Road,
Mad Max 2.
Mad Max 2.
Imo. Road Warrior. Very, very good. Mad Max Fury Road is also really, really good. But Die Hard is also... I love Die Hard as well. Yeah. But most action movies, the bar is so low with that stuff.
The bar is... The Raid so is also... But the Raid is also
yeah, I've never seen the Raid.
The Raid is kind of... Well, no, in Die Hard, they're moving up and down and around all over the place. But then in the Raid, it's we're at the bottom, we need to go to the top. And it's so good. It is so good. I actually prefer the Raid to Die Hard.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Easily.
Where would Die Hard rank in your rankings of action films?
Oh God, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't
probably
really...
we were top, one of the best, top 10.
There has to be some sort of science to action films, you know, a good mix of catharsis. I think catharsis is the main thing. You know, you have to have a really bad guy.
He's such a good
High
bad
stakes.
guy. He's such a bad guy. He's such a good bad guy.
Such a bad boy.
He's a naughty boy. He's on Santa's list.
He's on the naughty list this year. I say that, is that a line in it? That should have been a line.
Definitely is. It definitely is.
Another one where it's Merry fucking Christmas. And he throws a grenade or something.
Awesome, yeah. He does a lot of shit.
Yeah.
My favorite bit is when he's on the roof, and he has to like get all the people down, and then like the cops start shooting at him, so he just like grabs a fucking like fire hose and just fucking parachutes off the fucking building and it's like slams into the side of it.
Yeah, that's great.
It's so good.
Yeah, Bruce Willis in his prime. He's in bits these days.
He did Fifth Element. Ever seen that?
No, I've never seen
It's
it.
really good. Gary Oldman's in it as well. Or Mila Jokovic as well. Or Mila Jokovic or Jokovic, whatever the fuck her name is.
Ever see Unbreakable?
Yeah. What do you think of Unbreakable?
I loved Unbreakable. I thought it was amazing.
Have you seen it recently?
No.
I watched it like last year, I think, or maybe the year before. Like I've seen it recently enough. It's all right. Like it's. I don't get the hype.
I thought it was great. Well, like I haven't seen it in so long, but I just liked the like I was saying about like catharsis.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a real element from what I remember in the film of like him sort of like being fucked up, and then he's just like really badass in it, basically.
Yeah.
You know, like he's unbreakable.
Yeah.
And he just
I
breaks things.
completely forgot what film we were talking about.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, no. Like you're just like when you. I was like, are we still talking about Die Hard? And then when you said like Unbreakable, I was like, oh yeah, shit, we're talking about Unbreakable.
He's unbreakable, man.
Yeah.
And then there's Mr. Glass, scene where he falls down the stairs. I couldn't stop laughing when I first saw that scene. He's like, "You broken me," or he says something like that.
Have you seen Glass?
No. Have you?
No, obviously not.
Yeah, fucking.
It looks shite.
Your man, what's his name? M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
He's such a fucking con man.
He's a hack.
He's a hack. He's the biggest hack who ever lived. You know, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, great films in my opinion. But what happened after that? Even Signs is actually okay. It's not that
I haven't
bad.
seen it.
It's pretty good. It has like Joaquin Phoenix in it.
Did you ever see what the fuck is it called? The Happening.
No. Apparently it's bad. Yeah.
Oh,
Mark Wahlberg.
it is beyond bad.
What's happening?
It's so,
What happens?
It's a wind that makes you like kill yourself in like a really horrific way.
Oh,
But like,
it's just like The Mist.
oh, it's bad. Take an interest in science. That's one of the lines in it.
Oh god.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg is terrible in it. But it's really funny to watch how bad it is.
Yeah. Then he did
Lady in the Water. It's pretty alright, but he writes himself as like. Do you know what he does in that?
He always writes himself as like the smartest guy in the room. And stuff like that.
Not only does he write himself as the smartest guy in the room, he writes himself as the character who plays a writer whose work will save the world.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan.
And it's something like that.
The guy is such a dope. I did that film, The Visit. That was like his comeback, wasn't it? Or have you ever seen Split?
Yeah, what do you think of Split? I was going to say
I thought it was shite.
I
thought it was shite. I don't get it. It's like so hyped up.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, he plays multiple different personalities.
yeah.
Like,
this is the greatest acting performance I've ever seen.
But it's also like, yeah. But like,
he's an actor.
He's an actor. Like, he does that throughout his entire career. He's only doing it in one film now.
Yeah, like if that was one take, I'd be like, wow, that's really impressive how you switch between personalities. It's like it all happened over like that was shot over the course of like 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Like every other film. It's like it's not like he was like it's not that impressive. Like,
No.
it's good. He's a good actor, obviously. James
He's
McAvoy.
good in it. But like,
it's not even
like
good
that
as a
doesn't.
film.
But like that doesn't make the film good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not even a good film though.
No,
like,
it's not.
It's just.
I need to rewatch it because I need to like. Because I remember liking it when I was younger, and then like every time I think back on it, it's like it goes down. Every time I think back on it, so like I think I need to rewatch it and then just seep in my hatred.
Yeah, I definitely won't be rewatching that. I think I saw it in the cinemas. It's one of those films I just never got. I never understood why people
I
liked it.
hate when he turns into the Beast.
The Beast. Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
the final, like when he's proper eating people. Like I was like, that was like that's so tonally off with everything else that's going on in this film.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
sort of grounded.
But then it's just like, oh no, don't worry about it because it's in the same universe as Unbreakable. So he's actually a super villain. And I was like, that doesn't make a fucking difference to what the film was beforehand.
Yeah, because I remember I was sort of. I'd read. I can't remember. It was like 2014, wasn't it? That came out. I'd read that there's a
Came out ages ago.
Yeah, there was a sequel to Unbreakable coming out or in the works, and I was like, that sounds like Unbreakable is one of those movies that like sort of deserved a sequel. I think, in my opinion, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be great. But then I sort of forgot about it, and then I watched Split, and I saw that. I was like, this is tying into the Unbreakable universe, and I was like, no, no, please no. And it was just, I haven't seen Glass, I don't know.
Yeah, apparently it is awful.
Is Sam Jackson in that?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Is he?
Apparently it's fucking awful.
Sad. Absolutely sad. But you see all those, on YouTube, where you like get like those recommended videos where they're like millions of views, like
Yeah.
20 million views, and it's just like a random video, and like usually it's like iconic films, and like Godfather opening scene, or like you know, Apocalypse Now, like helicopter scene, stuff like that. Like I remember one of the days I saw Split, the scene where he gets in the car and he's like Patricia or whatever. Like I had like something like fucking 40 million views. I was like, that was the day I knew I was out of touch. Like I had completely lost touch with the masses, you know, with the kids. I was like, what? How? Like obviously a lot of people get a lot out of that film, but I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Is that the bit where he just sits in the car?
And he's like, he turns around and he's like someone else.
Yeah, because he's like the hygiene guy, whatever.
Yeah. It's basically just where he splits into a different personality.
Yeah.
And set in the car. I can't remember any other specifics, but it had a lot of views and it was depressing to see.
That is depressing.
Just chug the wine.
Yeah, it's got to take a sip of wine after that. That was bleak.
Yeah. Enough Shyamalan hate.
Back to Die Hard.
Yeah, back to Die Hard.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I like it. You know, I mean, there's nothing to say about Die Hard really. Everything's been said about it.
Yeah. It really goes hard. Have you seen the other ones?
I've seen Die Hard 3 and 4.
Mm.
Die Hard 3 is very good.
Yeah. Is that the one where
Sam Jackson's
Jackson? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
It's really good. And then Die Hard 4, which apparently, like, I watched it when I was younger. But I remember liking it when I was like younger. I was like, that was a really cool action film. But apparently it's better when you watch it the like unrated version of it, because it was originally 15s, but there's an 18s cut of it.
Oh, really?
Which is apparently better.
Yeah. I remember.
Die Hard is like bloody.
Yeah, it is. It's like intense. It's gritty. You know, it's real.
He doesn't wear any shoes throughout the entire thing.
He doesn't wear any shoes.
Yeah, he doesn't have any shoes.
That's how you know it's real.
Yeah, and then there's a bit where he has to walk on glass.
I remember the with Live Free Die Hard or whatever it's called. I think it's called Die Hard 4.0 here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
but I remember it was like it's like really actiony, but it's also completely ridiculous in the way that the first three aren't. Like
like there's a bit like
there's a bit where they drive a car into a helicopter.
Yeah, and they survive.
Yeah. I thought that was so good when I was.
Yeah, same. I thought like this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's like because I could do that.
Yeah. And Justin Long is pretty good in it. He's really good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like that guy who's in all the 2000s films.
Yeah, the little weedy guy.
Yeah,
he's like always like the same character.
Mm-hmm.
He just plays himself. Hey, where did he go? He's been gone for a while.
He's in I think he writes or something, because he's in what the fuck, This Is the End. Is that what that film's called?
Oh, is he with the Franco and all?
Yeah. Is that what that film's called? This Is the End.
This Is the End. Yeah.
He's in that. He's good. He's funny.
Yeah, most of them are good now. Michael Cera plays himself.
And then he dies, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, he's like, but like the character that he's playing is like the opposite of him.
A complete fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Who's mad into drugs and like beating more girls and all.
Yeah.
And drinking loads.
It's almost like a joke against Michael Cera.
Yeah.
It's like this guy's just a loser in real life.
This guy's a complete fucking virgin.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What happened to him? Like
Michael Cera.
Yeah. No, but you ever see like what happened? Like he looks different. It's like they swapped him out for someone in the 2000s. Like he looks like Michael Cera from Arrested Development. He looks so different.
I think it's because he like lost like a load of weight. He's real skinny.
Well, he was skinny before, like.
But he's really skinny. Like he's really skinny, like Scott Pilgrim, which is like part of his character. Like.
Yeah.
But like he was not to say he was big or anything when he was younger, but like he'd more weight on him anyway.
Yeah, he just looks so different. It's like one of those Paul McCartney situations. It's like, did they kill the original Michael Cera? He just looks so different to me. But yeah,
it's good though. I haven't seen him in anything in ages though. But again, I think it's because Michael Cera plays Michael Cera. Yeah,
he's doing music as well.
He does music?
He has a lo-fi band.
We might have ourselves a Sarah Christmas, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a terrible joke. What have you been watching?
What have I been watching? I watched Monsters, Inc.
Ooh.
On Friday.
Classic.
An absolute classic. Such an emotional film. Hits all the beats. Sully's amazing.
That's the first film I saw in cinema, I'm pretty sure.
Really, yeah? Yeah, 2001 is released.
Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. The part where he's roaring, that's scary. It's also really sad.
The start is so intense.
The start?
Yeah.
When she breaks into the monster world?
No, when like it's the opening and it's It's Sully scaring the kid now.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. It's a really good concept and stuff. One of the great Pixar films. They've really fallen off the horse recently.
Have they? Jesus.
Yeah.
But that was like one of the... Because Wall-E was meant to be the last Pixar film.
Was it?
Like, right, so when Pixar started off, they started off with like 8 ideas or 9 ideas, whatever. And it went like, all the films that came out were like, up until Wall-E, were the original film ideas that they had.
Mm.
So they had all these ideas, and then once you get to Wall-E is where the drop like kind of comes, and that's because of that reason.
I thought Wally was shy, to be fair.
Wall-E's good when you're older. It's just boring, but it's good when you're older.
Yeah, I never got it when I was younger.
But it's for that, because it's like, it was for kids that had grown up watching films, so it's like, this is an older kind of film. Because Ratatouille is like, that's kind of boring as well, because it's like an indie film, basically.
Yeah, I hated Wally and Ratatouille.
But when you watch them now, they're way better.
I'll have to rewatch them. I might do a little marathon.
Don't get rid of that Disney Plus subscription just yet.
Nah, not just yet. Just so I get all these in. Do it one day. But after that, yeah, I remember I watched the Pixar. There's like a Pixar documentary released in like 2007, explaining it all, and like I had that bit about it, which I just remember now, like all the original ideas. But they also had a policy of no sequels, which they broke with Toy Story 2. But they're like never again. And now all their films are sequels.
But also, like, you know, Toy Story 2 is arguably better than Toy Story 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they like
it's really good, really good sequel.
It works, so I'm okay with that. Like, it's fine if you're gonna give us a Toy Story 2. Break it, just do it.
Cool, yeah. Toy Story 3 is also good. Toy Story 4, I'm sure it's good, but they're pushing it a bit. You know,
Toy Story, the end it now. Just leave it at that.
There's only so much you can do with a Toy Story.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure it's just the same story again with a different kid. You know, just leave it be. I know Monsters University is shite.
Yeah, it is
rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
It's not good.
Inside Out was pretty good, but never reaches the heights.
Yeah,
never reaches the heights in my opinion.
Didn't really like Inside Out. There's a lot about it that I do really like, but it didn't hit that. Yeah, it's that emotional beat that I didn't get off it.
Yeah, it doesn't hit the heights. It is sad in parts, but like it's more like they're trying to get you. They're trying to live up to the Pixar thing,
and it really tries to be sad.
Yeah,
like a character dies.
Yeah, they kill off the elephant guy.
Bim Bob, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, that is the sad part. But it's like, am I being manipulated here? It's not like the original ones where you're like, oh god, it's like natural. It's part of the story. Yeah, I can't remember what else they put out.
Coco.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, but it's like the same kind of thing. Like, it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like, I felt like a lot of music was leading my emotions.
Yeah. It's all because that they just got caught into the whole Disney thing. Like Disney sort of lifted off around then as well.
Well, I don't even think Up is that good.
I liked Up. Up is so emotionally abusive though. Manipulative.
Like, once, like, go back, watch Up, and skip the opening, and then just think about the rest. Just think about that film. Then it's like that opening sequence is amazing.
It's so sad.
It's so sad, and it works so well.
The
rest of the film is not that good.
I liked it, but I know what you mean. But I feel like it has that sort of, or when I watched it, had that sort of magic that the early ones do as well. But yeah, the like. They start off with that thing. It's like they get the crying out of the way at the start, and then just play along with the rest of the film, which is almost a better approach than like just like pretending, oh, this character is totally not in here just to make you cry like 10 minutes before the end. You know?
Yeah, it's like they made the best short film ever.
Yeah,
but there's no way you could release that as a short film for kids.
Yeah,
so you had to make a film afterwards.
Yeah, that's so sad, man. Everyone's crying in the cinema when I watched that.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, Monsters Inc. Great film. I think everyone knows that.
Nemo, it's so good as well.
Yeah.
But like Monsters Inc. Yeah, I haven't watched Monsters Inc. in ages, but like I remember it being good. I remember really liking it.
Yeah, a great one. Truly a great one.
It is a great one.
I love Sully. What a guy.
And I love the joke of fucking Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah.
Mike Wazowski.
He's so funny.
Not only is he fucking gas, but like the ongoing joke where like he's constantly being covered.
Oh yeah,
but
on
like
the magazines.
But even Disney Plus do it.
Oh, do they?
When you go on to watch it on Disney Plus, the play button like is covering his eye.
Oh, that joke is hilarious. Yeah,
it's so good. And he's like, I did it. I made it on the front cover.
Yeah. Is it Billy Crystal or something who does that? He's the perfect voice actor for him. But I have like a little like plush toy of like Sully, from like way back in the day, obviously. And like is one of those toys that like talk. You know, he had like catchphrases and stuff, and he did a roar and stuff when you squeezed him. He's holding one of those, you know, the little tanks, the yellow tanks.
I think my cousin had that.
Yeah, but I found him there like last year. Like I dug him out from the attic, and I was like squeezing him, and he was still talking. He was still doing the roar. He's still like doing his catchphrase or whatever.
Roar.
Do the roar. But I did it like 3 or 4 times, and then he just goes, and just like died in my hands. Died in my hands. I was like, this is my boo moment. I've finally grown up. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
This is where I leave you, Sully. You know, you've done me well these past 20 years. It was it was low key emotional. Like I was like, oh, he just died in my hands.
You had to let Sully go.
Yeah, this treasured childhood memory. He still does the, but like this, like it's not the same.
I think you just replace the batteries to be okay.
Yeah, but that defeats the point.
This defeats the emotion.
That'd be like Monsters Universe. That's like a sequel to the thing. You know, you're supposed to let it die.
Just
you know?
let it die.
Let it die.
That literally is. If you put batteries into it, you're making them a fucking Monsters University move.
Exactly. Yeah, let him die. God bless. Rest in peace, Sully.
Oh, that's such a good comparison. Oh God. So which one would be your favorite Pixar film?
Yeah, my favorite. What are they? I think
Bugs Life, Toy Story 2, 3. We'll just do the originals because I'm ours. Monsters Inc.
Finding
Nemo. Up.
What's in
Wall-E,
between?
Ratatouille.
No, definitely Monsters Inc. or maybe Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I think Finding Nemo is my favorite.
Yeah, it's just the water looks so cool. I was
and
mesmerized.
It still looks good.
It still looks good. Yeah,
Still looks
that's
good.
Really, really cool.
Even the humans don't even look that bad.
Yeah.
Like they don't look like the kid in like Toy Story.
Yeah. I've never seen Finding Dory, but I'd say it's shite.
Yeah.
I'd say it's absolutely wank.
It's pretty boring.
Ellen DeGeneres, she's the side character in that film. Like she doesn't need her own film.
Incredibles too as well.
Oh, actually,
shit,
Incredibles. Incredibles is my favorite.
Yeah, Incredibles. Incredibles is my favorite as well.
Like
I can't believe we forgot it.
Everything about the film is so good.
Yeah.
How did we forget the best one? Like I'd say by far. Or not by far, but
we only remember the best one by remembering one of the worst sequels.
Yeah, I've never seen the sequel, but
what about Cars?
Oh man, yeah, I've always hated Cars.
I always hated Cars as well.
I've always hated Cars. Except for that song, Life is a Highway. That's a great song.
It's a great PS2 game as well.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I had it on PSP, I remember.
I used to play the shit out of that game. It's so good.
Yeah, I hated Cars. That was from your man John Lasseter. Like, he founded Pixar. His justification was he was really into cars.
He was really into toys. He was really into making toys.
He's really into cars. So he's like, I'm going to make a film about cars. And it's just called Cars. And it's about cars that just do car things. It's just like, what were you thinking? How did this man go so mad with power that he made a film just about cars, you know?
But it's just like, what are they going to do? Race.
Just going to race.
Like, okay, so what's the story going to be? Racing.
Just going to drive. And the whole thing with like, they have like car hotels and shit. And like the implication they have car sex and stuff. Bizarre.
But then there's Cars 2 and 3 as well. And I'm pretty sure in the third one he dies.
Does he? Lightning McQueen dies.
Yeah, you only think he dies or something. Like the trailer, or like he gets seriously injured anyway. Because like it's about aging as well.
They put him out of commission, like
it's literally Cars turns into Toy Story basically, like but like shitter in every single fucking way.
Yeah, he gets in a wreck or something.
Yeah, literally. But he gets in a wreck because he's an old car.
That's just terrible.
Like he has to give up racing because he can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
and that's what the film is about. And then Cars 2 is about like a James Bond movie.
Yeah, I think I watched bits of Cars 2 before. A load of bollocks, like.
But like that's a cool idea though for Cars 3. If what I'm led to believe, not to kill him off, but like it's about aging.
Yeah,
or whatever. It's like I'm thinking of ending things.
Yeah, but with cars. Whereas like the car scene is just them driving alongside each other for like an hour.
And it's just a Fast and Furious.
The same song, like just Mater and Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen starts to fall apart as he drifts off into the other lane.
But imagine like when he falls apart and a little person walks away.
Yeah,
like a little person, like that bit where like it like is Mater or whatever, and he just rolls down the window and then it just cuts.
Oh yeah, that'd be so cool.
you never know what's actually in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, what is in the car? Yeah. Look inside. Look under the hood.
Do you ever see those memes of it?
No.
It's like this, like like a brain, and then it's just like wheels jammed into a brain, and then just skin folded over.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, that's when you knew things were going a bit haywire. You know, they're too successful for their own good. You know, like imagine making a film called Bikes or something. You know.
Well, yeah, the spin-off called Planes as well.
Yeah.
So.
Ah, Jesus.
But like, yeah, that's the same thing there. Like, that's just like really. The Cars was never good. But that had three. Like, that was a trilogy.
Yeah.
I think it's the only one that has a trilogy. Oh no, fucking Toy Story.
Toy
Story
quad
started
trilogy.
in like the fucking. It started in like the 90s.
95.
It's older than me. Like.
Yeah.
It's older than you. I'm pretty sure. Is it 95 or is it 96?
It's 95, I think.
Well, then.
Either way, it's older than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck it. No more Pixar movies. We've had enough.
Or at least just make good ones.
Yeah, just make good ones. Let us write one.
Don't let us write one. That me and Mark spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out like a fucking trying to write a fucking maybe it's the new opening. Maybe we actually did do it, but like we fucking spent ages trying to write something for that.
I'd say it's genius by now. You know, by the time we're listening to this.
We've had like 2 weeks, so it's fucking want to be good.
Let's write one limerick.
Oh fucking hell! What else have you been watching?
I watched a bit of Harry Potter and Narnia as well.
Cozy.
Narnia is great. Harry Potter is shite, absolutely shite. You know, it's one of those controversial things I have to say, because people love Harry Potter.
People fucking love Harry Potter.
People love Harry Potter to a creepy and disturbing extent.
Well, some people do. I think a lot of people now are like, J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, she's a little fucking. She's scum. She was always a scumbag. She was. Remember, she used to post daily about how much she hates Jeremy Corbyn on Twitter for years.
No, I don't remember that.
Nah, she used to do that. She had one tweet back in like I think before the British general election 2017, and it's just Corbyn is not Dumbledore. Like, you know, the way people do that with the full stops.
Jesus Christ.
It's the most cringeworthy thing I've ever seen. She's just like a right winger. She was always a terrible person. She's not even a good writer. She's not good at anything.
She had a good idea.
She had a good idea.
A very marketable idea.
She had an amazing idea. Harry Potter is just such a rich and like creative world. And the books are, I really like the books, but they're kids' books. And I like a lot of the movies as well.
But Harry Potter is shit.
Harry Potter 1, shite. Plot holes everywhere. It doesn't make any sense, you know? Like, wizards, you know?
What's going on there?
What's that all the whole thing? Well, there's so many plot holes. I feel ridiculous talking about plot holes in fucking Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but like there are plot holes that were hard to get by. CGI isn't great. The acting is actually amazing. The kids are really good acting. They sort of deserve all their success. Fair play to them. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say they're terrible.
No, the kids, they're actually amazing.
I'm pretty sure Danny Radcliffe isn't that good. I remember he's like the weakest out of them all.
The weakest link? I thought he was pretty good. Especially for someone who's carrying the movie. He's basically in every scene, you know? And he's, 10 years old? 11?
I think he's even younger.
Yeah. And they're really, the main three are amazing. Very good actors. But other than that, what's it all about? They hate Snape for no reason. They try to set him on fire.
Yeah, for no reason.
Because he looks sinister. He has long hair. It's like,
I understand them like setting him on fire for the curse, but they just hate him beforehand just because he looks evil.
Yeah, it's like, your man's evil. He's trying to steal the Philosopher's Stone. And everyone's like, what's that? And it's never brought up again, you know?
Until the end.
Yeah, it's just like, how do they know what the Philosopher's Stone is? Why did they assume that it's in this vault? Why did they assume that Snape is going after it specifically? Like, maybe they think he's evil for whatever reason. But why do they think he's specifically going after the Philosopher's Stone? They have no reason to think that. They just assume that that's what's happening. And then they follow it. They go into this, they meet the three-headed dog, Cerberus. They run into that.
That thing looked like shit even in 2001.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. But they run into that, and they're like, oh, the Philosopher's Stone must be underneath the dog. And of course it is. But like, how do they know that? They just assume that they risk their lives going to the dog's chamber.
Isn't it like there's riddles or something?
I don't know. Whatever it is, how do they know what they're looking for is underneath there? Maybe it's a riddle for something else. It's a big place. It's a big school, you know? They've loads of fucking hidden corridors and stuff, and like magical places. Like maybe it's just like a fucking, I don't know, like a wand or something, or like an office. And they just assume the Philosopher's Stone is down there, and they go through all these different trials, and it's pretty cool. It's a good part. but it just doesn't add up. It's just it's just a load of bollocks.
That was I wish I could like make a gif over like the expression that you just made there. Like it would be like the perfect gif of like not giving a shit.
Yeah, it's just the second, third, and fourth one are definitely the best by far. Yeah, and then I watched Narnia,
Which is great.
which
The
is good.
soundtrack actually the sound
Narnia
or
one.
the like orchestra work or whatever in like Harry Potter is very good, but that theme from Narnia is amazing. It swells up
Yeah.
so beautifully.
Yeah, I really like Narnia 1.
Yeah.
Aslan's such a tragic character, you know.
So is Jesus, Mark.
Just get straight to the point. It's all about Jesus. Yeah, it's just a Jesus allegory, but it's done so well. And the scene where they like kill Aslan, so sad. It's still sad.
Oh, they skin him and all.
It's very. Oh no, they just cut off
But
his mane.
yeah, you know, they skin him.
Yeah, but he dies for Edmund's sins of eating a chocolate bar from the White Witch, which is obviously an allegory for the sins of humanity under the rule of the devil or whatever.
Which is just like
It's a bit much.
it's like he like no, but like they fucking shave him
The shave him, yeah.
and then they stab him
Yeah.
and they torture him for a bit because Edmund ate a chocolate bar.
No, he. Oh, I don't know.
But like I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it is like that.
It's basically from that, yeah. From the eating a Turkish delight.
Yeah.
But
Fat prick.
yeah, I never liked Edmund, but it is good.
The start of that takes place during the Blitz.
Yeah, it's set during the war and stuff. The writer was Irish, Northern Irish, I believe. C.S. Lewis. I think he was a prod, so he's like talking about like
Protestant Jesus.
Protestant Jesus. Yeah. You know, he didn't listen to Mass in Latin. He listened to Aslan. You know, it is good.
Listen to Aslan.
It is good though, and it's just like I really liked. I read all the books as a kid, so I really liked it. Magician's Nephew, which is like a prequel to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is actually released as a book later. It's hard to sort of explain, but that was like one of my favorite books when I was younger. And so like I really like followed along with the films when they're coming out. I expected them to be way worse when I watched them again, but they're actually like the first one is really good, and then the second two aren't as bad as I would have expected. You know,
Is there a fourth one?
no, there's only 3.
Alright.
Yeah, the third one has
Is there only 3 books?
no, there's like 7 or 8 books.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. There's loads of books. Definitely worth a watch. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, at least. You know, if you're looking for something comfy this Yuletide season.
It is good though. I remember like that fucking the ending of it. Like that battle's really good.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And the scene where they shave him is really scary. Or it was really scary to me as a kid.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. You're like,
It is fucked up.
Aslan.
Like
And
it's really tense.
Yeah. And Liam Neeson's great as Aslan.
It's like Passion of the Christ for kids.
It literally is, yeah. It's literally Passion of the Christ, but like retold. I also found Orla was showing me this like BBC version that they did in the 80s of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where Aslan's just a puppet.
I think I've seen that.
Oh, really?
I think I've seen like bits of it anyway.
Yeah, Aslan's just like a puppet, and like all the scenery is just like cardboard cutouts basically. And it looked hilarious. I watched a few minutes of that. That was also pretty funny. But you know.
I know. I feel you. Talk about Jesus, Mark. Shrek.
Oh, the green Jesus.
The green Jesus, our Lord and Savior.
Absolutely. God bless him.
God bless him. We watched Shrek the Halls, and
Far, Far Away Idol, I think.
and I watched Scared Shrekless.
All the shorts.
All the shorts
That are all produced like in between films, weren't they?
Yeah, Shrek the Halls is in between 3 and 4, and then Scared Shrekless came out afterwards. I think that's the newest Shrek film.
Scared Shrekless,
Yeah.
is it?
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Why did they release that?
Why not? Keep Shrek alive.
What's it about?
Keep the dream alive.
Keep Shrek alive.
It's about him on Halloween, but like it's kind of like a Treehouse of Horror episode.
Oh, okay.
But it breaks the continuity of Shrek
How?
because the babies walk and talk in this,
Oh no.
but it's their first Halloween,
Yeah.
right? So Shrek, right? So we'll talk about Scared Shrekless first because there's not much to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So Shrek the Halls takes place on their first Christmas, and Shrek 4 is their first birthday.
Yeah.
So they're obviously
Makes
born.
sense.
They're obviously born before, like they're gonna have a first Christmas before they have their first birthday. Scared Shrekless. There's a line where Fiona says, it's their first Halloween, but they're walking and talking
Mm.
and they're scaring people because they're ogres. But like they're literally like they're tackling people to the ground and stuff like that.
As babies,
As-
are they just babies?
They're toddlers
Oh.
basically, but
Yeah.
they're 1 year old and younger than they are in Shrek Forever After.
What?
Like let's say they're younger in Shrek Forever After than they clearly are in this
Okay.
because they're walking and talking.
So it breaks the continuity. It breaks the Shrek lore.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
That's a bit unacceptable, isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
completely
That
unacceptable.
completely destroys the whole sort of suspension of disbelief. You know, what are you to believe in that universe now? You know,
I know nothing. Like
nothing.
I can accept fairies
Yeah,
and I can accept all the other magical creatures.
this is a nihilist Shrek.
It's a joke, is what it is, Mark. It's a joke.
Joker Shrek.
I was like, oh no, I think I deleted my notes. Fucking
Cursed notes.
But like, so what happens is that Shrek comes in after like scaring trick or treaters or whatever, and then he comes in and he's like, "That's why ogres are the king of Halloween or whatever." And then everyone else is there, and they're like, "Oh, how about we have a competition to tell scary stories?" And then whoever wins is the king of Halloween.
Mm.
So Shrek's like, "All right, fine, yeah, that's fine, but I get to name where we're doing it." So they walk to Duloc,
What?
and Duloc is a fucking ghost town,
Yeah.
and it's apparently haunted by Lord Farquaad's ghost. And there's a bit where Shrek says, "His blood is on your hands," and Donkey says it was an accident
What?
because
Because his wife killed him.
his wife killed Lord
Yeah,
Farquaad,
yeah.
but like Donkey's getting the blame for it because he ordered his wife to do it, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Because Shrek didn't have the balls to do it, basically.
No.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a bit where like they redo the the like where they hit the like vending machine thing, or
Oh yeah.
and like the little people come out and they sing or whatever. They do that again, but it's like a real fucked up version of them where their eyes are popping out
All right.
and they're singing it, or like Duloc is a ghost town, it's a demon place or whatever, and like they're killing each other, and then it takes the photograph again, and it's like a warped photo of like Donkey and Shrek.
Oh, that's sort of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's all these really cool throwbacks to the first one, and like, but it's like Shrek, like Duloc was like a happy place. Like the people there seem to be digging it. You know,
the perfect place.
They were enjoying the gladiator stuff and all that. Like they were all enjoying. That's the only look into Duloc that we have.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, maybe it's really fucked up, but like they were pretty happy. And Shrek and Donkey killed their leader, and all these people had to flee their homes because they had no leader. God knows what happens after the fall of Farquaad. Who knows what happened?
Yeah,
then?
refugee crisis and far, far away.
As we know, fucking like Dragon went on a fucking rampage because like Donkey, when they're outside the church, Donkey's like, "Oh, you go ahead, you do whatever you want," and she goes on a rampage for Duloc.
Yeah.
Duloc was attacked by a dragon and is now a fucking ghost land,
Jesus.
ghost town.
Yeah. So that sort of makes the first one sort of cooler, you know.
It does.
You just like Donkey's like genocide the Dulocians, you
Yeah.
know. Like
And
that's
it's
what
a
happened
ghost
off
town.
screen. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
And so then they go up and they sit beside a fire and they all tell like ghost stories, or whatever. And they're all like, but they're like the Treehouse of Horror ones. So like, fucking Gingy's story is that him and his girlfriend were sitting in like a fucking gingerbread car, whatever, and like it's like, you know, the start of like a 50s like monster movie.
Yeah, is that not?
And then Santa appears and Santa eats his girlfriend.
Oh, that's from or Shrek the Halls, isn't it?
No, that's good. Oh shit, yeah, it is. What the fuck is Gingy's one then? Sorry, yeah. Oh, what the fuck? I'm confusing them now. What, Gingy does have a story though.
Yeah. That was the best part of Shrek the Halls.
That was fucking gas. And
hilarious.
then he runs away at the end of Shrek the Halls.
He's like, Santa, and he runs
What
off.
the fuck is the one in Shrek? Oh, hold on. Alright, yeah, no, sorry. I was mistaken. That is Shrek the Halls. The one in Scared Shrekless is Gingy goes to the gingerbread man, and so this is his scary story, and he says to the gingerbread man, "I want you to make me the perfect woman," or whatever. So he makes him a little gingerbread woman, but they add too much sugar and they make her too sweet.
Oh,
Right?
horrifying.
So she comes out and she's really obsessive and like really, she's fucking crazy basically, and like really possessive. So Gingy tries to run away and ends up killing her.
Oh God.
But right, he like knocks her into like the machine that made her basically,
Mm.
and then the machine like makes more of her, but they're all like body horror versions of her,
Oh shit.
and they all come and they kill and eat Gingy,
What?
and that's the end of it. Like Gingy dies in that story.
Gingy dies.
In that story, right? And so like some people like run away or whatever and are scared, and then Puss is about to tell a story, but then Donkey interrupts him, and then it's the two of them arguing over who's controlling the story, and it's them recreating Psycho with Prince Charming as Norman Bates.
Yeah.
And then it goes on for like them flip flopping back and forth, and then like Donkey sprays Puss in Boots with water, and then because he's scared of water, so he runs away. And then Shrek tells the Exorcist in the version of Pinocchio being the girl and Shrek being the priest. And then it's all like, there's a voice in my head, there's a voice in my head. And then like Pinocchio's like thrown out of the room or whatever, and he hits his head off the ground or whatever, and Cricket comes out because it's Pinocchio. And that was the voice in his head. And then Pinocchio kills his conscience. He like steps on him and kills him.
Oh god.
So then, yeah, so that's what that is. And then it's all then like, you know, then the castle starts making noises, and you're like, oh shit, wait, is the place actually haunted? And Shrek's like, oh shit, no, this isn't me. And then a ghost kind of appears, and Donkey runs away. But then you find out there was actually Fiona and the 3 ogre babies that were doing it the entire time, and Shrek was in on it.
Wow, that's terrible.
But like everything,
terrible ending.
the start is terrible and the end is terrible, and it's only because the ogre babies are in it, and it's awful.
The ogre babies are like are by far the worst thing about this entire franchise.
Easily,
they're just they've nothing going for them. Like they're not even cute. Like you can't even make, like, the toys with them were just weird. They're just ugly. They're not welcome in the Shrek franchise. No. You know, like, why are they there? They're just annoying.
They are
even
annoying.
Even Shrek hates them.
They're there to fucking sell toys.
Yeah, they didn't even do that. Didn't even do a good job of that.
No,
terrible.
So if I was to rate Scared Shrekless on the Shrekometer,
the Ogometer, the Ogrometer,
I would give it I'd give it like a 3. I'd give it 3 awful Duloc massacres out of 5.
That's pretty good. Yeah, the story sounded pretty good.
They are pretty good, and they're like a cool twist on things that you already know.
Yeah,
it's like a weird, like it's like a Trios horror episode, like
yeah, that's what you want
through the Shrek lens.
The Shrek lens, yeah. Yeah, I watched Far Far Away Idol, which is a tag on to Shrek 2, which is on the special features. I think it played. You're saying it played at the end of.
I think it did.
Yeah, I feel like it did, definitely. So like I've seen it loads of times before. I remember it pretty well. But it's the one where
Simon Cowell's in it.
Simon Cowell shows up, and
he plays Simon.
He plays Simon Cowell, and it's basically like American Idol, but with the cast of Shrek 2. So it has like Gingy, Captain Hook, Donkey, Shrek,
Prince Charming,
and Puss, and a few other people just sing songs.
Well, not even like full songs. They just sing snippets.
They just sing snippets of songs, and then Simon Cowell does his quips are actually pretty funny. Like they're pretty good. And it's just good. It's like 8 minutes long, I think.
I think it's like 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's very, very short. It's well worth a watch. I think everyone has seen it, to be fair. But
like it's so
it?
I watched it as well.
Yeah.
It's so like simple.
It's really good. Yeah, Simon Cowell is actually good in it as well. It's pretty like his lines are pretty good, you know, and he plays it off, plays the character well. Like obviously none of it makes sense because
well, it's literally the end, and the drunkies are. This is where the drunkies were introduced.
Oh, they're introduced at the end.
They're at the end of Shrek 2,
yeah.
which I actually had never seen before, and then I went back for like to see it like last week when we were sitting here
watching it for some reason.
Watching the end of Shrek 2.
Just the end.
Just the end of it. Just the end of it. But like I'd never seen that before. I didn't know that they were in Shrek 2.
Yeah.
But they're at the start of this as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's somewhere in this as well.
But it takes place like at the end of Shrek 2.
Yeah, it's like after the party's over.
It's so weird.
And Simon Cowell just shows up, and Prince Charming is still there, but he sings a song. I think it's "I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt." All the songs are like burned in my head, probably because I watched it so much.
It just adds to the Shrek 2 soundtrack.
Yeah, it does. It actually does. Yeah, it's a great little ditty, you know, great little short. Yeah.
What would you rate it?
Out of 5, I don't know. 5 idle judges out of 5.
You give it full marks.
I'm gonna give it, based on the shorts, or are we going out like
No, Shrek Universe.
Shrek Universe?
But you don't, it doesn't need to compare it to anything. It's like your own personal enjoyment. So it
My
can
own-
be a 5.
My own personal opinion of it. I think it's at least.
You don't need to compare it to anything else on the list.
I'd say it's a 4. It's a
4.
4 at least. Yeah, out of 5,
4 to 5.
in my opinion.
4 American Idols out of 5.
Absolutely, 4 cows out of 5.
Yeah, I think
4 drunkies out of 5.
I'm not as high on it as you are, Mark.
I like it.
So I'm gonna give it a 3.
A 3, another 3. Okay.
Another 3. Like, it's pretty. It's so short and it's inoffensive and it's easy.
Which is why
It was
I like
over before I knew that it started. Basically.
Yeah, it's like 8 minutes long. I watched it
Mental.
on like 1.5 speed as well, because the hassle I had to go through today to get all these shorts playing was ridiculous. I spent my computer completely shot the bed, absolutely shot the bed. I was so annoyed at it. Like I was just trying to sit down, watch Netflix, and turn on the Shrek shorts.
You Shrek'd it up.
And they Shrek'd it up. They absolutely they Shrek the bed, and it crashed twice, and I had to restart the entire computer and restart all the programs, and then go back into Netflix, and then it was jittery for ages. It took 2 hours in all to get it working.
Fuck that.
Just to watch Shrek the Halls and Far Far Away Idle.
But it was worth it for
It was worth it. It appeased me that 8 minutes. I was like, but I watched it all on 1.5 speed because I was
like 4 minutes.
I literally didn't have time because I was going up here at 8, and then I was like, this is at 6. I was like, I don't have time to watch all this, at normal speed. So, but yeah, it definitely appeased me. Far Far Away Idle.
It's good.
It is.
I give it 3 American Idols. Or Far Far Away Idols, I should say. And then Shrek the Halls.
The piece de resistance.
The piece that made this Christmas episode what it is.
Yeah, this is what it's all about.
This
Shrek
is what
the
it's
Halls.
about.
We literally planned this Christmas episode like a month in advance, just so that
We
Shrek
timed
the
it
Halls-
up
we timed it.
specifically for Shrek the Halls to be on Christmas. This thing is a load of shit. It's so bad.
Yeah, this is
It actually annoyed me.
Yeah, it is. It's but I like how short it is, which is its best feature is how short it is.
It's 25 minutes though, or 20
Is it?
minutes. Yeah.
Oh god, but it's a bit long for a short, but it's also short enough that you can sort of get past it. I think because this is Shrek 3 condensed into about 25 minutes. They could have just not released Shrek 3 and just released this instead, and then skipped to Shrek 4.
This came out between 3 and 4.
Yeah, they should have just not released 3. They should have just done this. just don't these themes are all the same themes.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It's not good.
I was watching it and I was like, Donkey and all. I actually fucking hate Donkey in this. He's such a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And he's just like, why did Shrek have to be so mean or whatever? It's like, you literally you invited yourself into his gaff and then
Christmas,
tore the place down.
Yeah.
And you brought your babies with you.
Yeah, you brought your mates and stuff, It's like, I don't know. It's inconsiderate. And everyone blames Shrek again.
Yeah, and Fiona's pissed off. Fiona, you should be pissed off as well.
Fiona's the biggest. I'll say it again. She's the biggest villain in this whole trilogy, or this whole quadrilogy, this whole series. She's always mad at Shrek for no reason. Shrek is, as you say, he's perfectly correct to be angry about people invading his home on Christmas Day without any invitation. But everyone just blames him. It's like, oh, he's a surly ogre, and he has to go on this big self-reflection or whatever. And eventually, people get around to the idea, oh, we never thought about what Shrek wanted for Christmas. But
well, Fiona just says, we didn't think about what Shrek wanted for Christmas. And I was like, you fucking asshole.
You're his wife.
You can't do this. You can't say that to Shrek and then go to them and be like, oh, we didn't ask what Shrek wanted. Just to be against them. You're always against someone. You fucking arsehole. Take a side.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. She never speaks her mind, But, yeah, it's just irritating. It's just complete waste of time this film was,
It was, yeah.
Especially if you've already watched Shrek 3, because it deals with the same things. It's like, oh, Shrek's on his own. Shrek doesn't know if he wants to be by himself or if he wants to, embrace his family and stuff like that. It's all about his struggle between the individual and
the collective.
Yeah, the collective. Yeah, which is just what Shrek 3 is about.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Christmas themed.
But it also has the "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" sequence, which is the single worst part of Shrek. Like the entire everything. It's worse than everything. No, at the end, it's Shrek telling a story, and it's just about like how the gaff was real nice and Christmassy or whatever, but then like Shrek as Santa comes in.
Oh yeah, Jesus!
And he just like farts and like shits the place up basically.
Yeah, the amount of fart jokes. There's more fart jokes.
It condenses them all into that one section.
Yeah. There's more fart jokes in this than like in the rest of the series. Really,
it's awful.
It's just.
I hate it. I hated that so much.
Like where was this released? Like, what's the story behind all these? Like, where are these released? Like, I know about them. I've heard about them from before.
I have no idea.
But how would you have watched them before, like Netflix or anything? Because these were all released
on TV, I think.
Is it TV? Yeah,
must be TV.
I was like, how'd they get Mike Myers and stuff to agree to this?
Had to have been TV.
You know, what's the point?
What would you rate this one?
1.
Yeah, 1. This is actually worse than Shrek 3. This is worse than Shrek the Third.
Somehow, yeah.
It's because it features the ogre babies way more predominantly. How bad a film is and how much baby ogre is in it. There's a correlation there.
Yeah, it's the baby ogre ratio. It's definitely a thing going on there. Mm-hmm. Just don't have them in the film. Just, you know,
because everything then ties around them.
Yeah. All the jokes, and no one laughs at those jokes.
Not even the jokes, like the plot like revolves around them now. But like Shrek's relation to them.
Yeah. Who cares? No one cares. Except for like
Shrekians.
Extremely young children or like old women. Like that's it. That's the only laughs you're getting in the cinema, you know? No one else cares.
Awful.
It's just a fact.
Yeah, it's a 1.
That's a 1. It's a 1.
It's not even getting, and like, I don't know, what are we going to rate this? 1.
It's just a 1.
Yeah, no, it's not even. It doesn't get to, because it's worse than Shrek 3. Like in Shrek 3, we bothered to give it the dead Frog King, but this one doesn't even deserve it.
Not at all. I agree.
One fart, one big smelly fart.
Yeah, one big fart.
This film is one big fart. And now on to our recommended film of the week.
Yep.
We're
Gremlins.
talking about Gremlins, our Christmas special feature.
Our Christmas movie, Gremlins 1984, Joe Dante. Written by Chris Columbus, the writer of Harry Potter, director of Harry Potter. Produced by Steven Spielberg, our good friend.
He does it again?
He's at it again. This time in 1984. Gremlins is like one of those like semi-classic Christmas movies. Like everyone's sort of seen this movie, I think. Most people.
Yeah.
You hadn't seen it till what, this week?
I hadn't seen it. I never ever seen this before.
Yeah.
I've seen the mom coming into the kitchen. And
yeah.
Fucking destroying 4 gremlins.
Yeah. That's
absolutely like destroying them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we've given Steven Spielberg a bit of heat before on this podcast for the way.
And we'll probably do it again later on.
We'll probably do it again in about half an hour. But for all he did in destroying independent cinema and sort of consolidating power in the studios in the 70s and 80s, there's like a flip side to all that sort of consolidated power where he had the opportunity to basically do whatever he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And Gremlins is sort of like a semi manifestation of that, in my opinion. This is a Trojan horse of a movie, in my opinion. This is like, there's more to it than you initially imagine, both in terms of how you'd read it and in terms of what the actual promotional material and like the public perception of it is.
Yeah. Like
there's so many tonal shifts in the film. It's like, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Like it's advertised as like this cuddly family film, sort of E.T. like, where Gizmo is just like, is going to be like,
he's the cutest fucking thing ever.
He's the cutest character. Oh my god, I've completely forgot how cute Gizmo is. He's such a king, such a little king.
Mm-hmm.
But it's promoted as like an E.T. sort of thing, like a buddy movie where he's going to be buddies with the kid and they'll like grow together or like whatever, you know. But then it just changes about like halfway in, and
it's so jarring.
Yeah, it's so.
But it's not even that jarring because like at the start of the film, in the Chinese shop.
It is a bit creepy, yeah.
It is creepy. There's creepy vibes there.
Yeah. Like this is actually the film that provoked the you know the way in the US they have the PG-13 R rating. Like, this is what created the PG-13 rating, because parents went to go see this and Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones movie.
That's super violent as well.
Yeah, where they like pull the heart out
Yeah.
of the fella. Yeah, but they went to see those two movies, and within months they introduced a new classification for films that were like in between.
Like 12A basically.
Yeah, basically 12A films, and it was a classification created specifically because of the reaction to this and Indiana Jones, because parents went in thinking, oh, Gizmo, he's cute, he's he's kid friendly, it's fun for the whole family. But then like you have
It turns into a horror film.
you have gremlins exploding in a microwave, and the girl's dad is she tells the story about her dad dying on Christmas because he got trapped in the chimney and stuff like that. Like, there's really
that bit is so fucked up.
there's really dark stuff in it that just isn't communicated on like a superficial level.
Yeah,
I really like it. I love this movie. Like,
it's good.
I think it's good. It is a bit basic. Like, it sticks to the same sort of formula, where
A bit boring as well in parts.
it's like just like a small town American kind of thing where things go wrong for a bit, and then they sort of deal with the disaster, and then everything goes back to normal at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But there's they play with the scenery and the sort of conventions of that specific sort of film genre.
Yeah,
Like, It's a Wonderful Life shows up in the film a bit.
yeah.
Like
It does.
the film itself, it's like it's in the kitchen when the mom is crying, and like she's like cooking and crying at the same time.
Yeah, and it's on the background.
Yeah, it's just on the background, but like it's sort of I think it's like pointing to like a seedy kind of underbelly to this like American dream that starts to collapse in the 80s.
Yeah,
Because even the place where it's or the town where it's set, I can't remember what it's called, but the lot that they shot it in is the same lot that they shot Back to the Future, and loads of different like staple American comedies and like family films from the 50s, 60s onwards. Like, it's still used today actually, the same lot. Like the whole town is like a set.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And but they're playing with that in it's like in this town things are a bit weird, you know. Like, even the girl, like, she works 2 jobs to get by.
Yeah,
And the son is supporting his family basically because his dad is a failure,
yeah.
a failed inventor.
Like, the children have to take care of the families.
Yeah, and like there's the whole thing with the sort of miserly old woman who's like a Scrooge character, but
she runs everything.
Yeah, and she's she names her cats after like currencies and stuff. Like, she's just she basically runs everything.
Well, she's gonna evict a bunch of families before Christmas as well.
Yeah, she's the evil. She's a caricature of that evil character, but at the same time, it's not just she's evil. It's like her relations with the rest of the town's like brought to the fore straight away.
Yeah,
And it's there's definitely that sort of leaking or like underlining element of something really wrong happening underneath it.
mm-hmm.
And there's a huge thing about technology in the film.
Yeah, using like the inventor.
Yeah. Like, his dad is an inventor. And he's a failed inventor basically. None of his inventions work. Like the orange juice or the orange squash
Everything,
or whatever.
just fucking the smokeless like ashtray. And all.
Yeah. That thing's pretty funny. But none of it works. But like, it's on like an individual level, he's a failure. But also, it's to do with the gremlin lore. Like, the whole thing with gremlins they come from World War II sort of folklore, where machines would fail their operators,
Mm-hmm.
and like a plane. I think the Roald Dahl story about gremlins is based on like, it's to do with the plane that fails.
Yeah, you know that, I don't know what the original thing is, but you know that, I don't know, it's a Twilight Zone episode, I think. You know that fucking thing with the guy on the plane, and he looks out and there's a gremlin like ripping apart the plane.
Yeah, I think that's based on the Roald Dahl story.
Because I was thinking of the Simpsons episode where like there's a gremlin on the bus.
Yeah.
And only Bart can see it.
Yeah, Terror at 90,000 feet, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The Twilight one. With William Shatner as well. But yeah, it's like the whole theme is like a distrust of technology. And the gremlins almost represent like this sort of uncontrollable, mischievous autonomy in technology. Like, the way like technology is going to betray us.
Yeah, that's what the neighbor's like as well.
The the neighbor character as well. He's like xenophobic.
I said this is like, yeah, because like I understand what you're saying about like the the like gremlins within technology. But I think that the film very purposely puts it as like this came from China. Like this is a Chinese thing. Some of the cheap products that you're buying, you need to buy American products because there's no gremlins in the American products and all that shit. I feel like it's a very strange film.
Yeah, but the same way, the dad's a complete failure. He's an American.
It's a failure of the American dream as well, I guess.
Yeah, he's as American as apple pie or whatever, and he just none of his inventions work to like a comical extent.
Yeah,
like that's another thing with the tone. Like you'll have almost like Saturday morning cartoon jokes, where like the orange juice just goes everywhere, or like something bizarre happens with one of his crazy inventions. But then like the next scene, you'll have like a gremlin egg hatching in the attic, and it's so sinister. Yeah, it's this really weird body horror. It's like it's like almost like Alien. I think it was released after Alien. Obviously,
the actual Alien, like the gremlin eggs themselves, like they look like Alien, like Alien's fucking egg.
Yeah, but it's not played off to like a comic effect. It's like that's the idea. Like it shifts very noticeably about halfway in when Gizmo, or they find out that Gizmo produces these gremlins.
Chew water, yeah.
Yeah, because the original idea was that Gizmo would just be, you know, the main gremlin with the stripe on his head.
Yeah.
Like Gizmo would turn into Stripe. Like that was the original idea for the script. But like I think 2 weeks before filming, Steven Spielberg said, "I don't want that to happen. I want Gizmo to be in the film all the way through." And so they had to completely rearrange the props and rewrite the script.
It doesn't even take that much of a fucking. It's like it doesn't make that much of a difference.
It does, because like he's not in terms of like how they had to represent him, because they only had like a small little doll for Gizmo.
Yeah.
You know all the close-up shots of him, like his, like the way his
they're
emotions.
Very noticeably different.
Yeah, his emotions and stuff like that. Like they had to build a massive Gizmo head that was like bigger than a person just to like
do those shots.
Yeah, to display the emotion, because they didn't have enough gears within the actual doll.
That's fucking gas.
To get the movements that they wanted. So Steven Spielberg sort of saved the project, I think. Because it would have been way more formulaic. Like, it's pretty formulaic as it is, but it would have been way more straightforward if it was just a story of Gizmo going bad or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does have limitations in terms of... it just seems to be like a story of technology going wrong in the wrong hands. It doesn't seem to be sort of... make that extra leap into technology as like something that could be autonomous in itself without human interaction. I think that's something that's explored in Gremlins 2 a lot. We could talk about that at a different time though, because I haven't watched it.
I haven't seen it either.
But I've read a bit about it since, and seems to be more of like a sophisticated like meta take.
It is a very meta film.
Yeah, because
it has the sexy gremlin in it.
Yeah, and it has Hulk Hogan talking directly to the camera and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we could have talked about that last episode, or the one.
We could do the next episode.
Yeah, we can do the next one. But what did you think about it?
I think it's great. I think it's a really good film.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's like there's a very weird vibe throughout the entire film. Like as you said, like there's a huge tone shift.
Yeah.
And it's so unbelievably noticeable.
Yeah.
But like I think like with the guy, the American fucking neighbor, the xenophobe, like the fact that like he's right in a sense. Like he's right that there's good that like
there's gremlins, yeah.
There's gremlins in the technology, like, and he's right, but like he's gone about it in like a fucking racist way, where he's like, oh no, only American products, but everything that he buys is foreign. Like it starts with the fucking car at the start. It's like that car's gonna fail on you, because that's what they used to say as well. I remember my mum and dad used to say that. Like, well, no, didn't used to say that, but they said that. That's what they used to say about like Japanese cars and stuff, that they'd fail on you.
Yeah.
And people still believe that.
I've still heard that, recently, yeah.
That like any Japanese car is just gonna fail on you. But like, and this, it's like a China. I guess it's because like it's the 80s, so that's why it's China.
Japan is more the big bad back then, wasn't it? Well, I think it's just. I
think it's China because like Japan and America had like an agreement or whatever. Like they were kind of allies to each other, but like. China is communist at this stage.
Yeah.
And the USSR is not really a worry in... You said 84, was it?
84, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it kind of is.
Yeah, I think it's more to do with just like the other, instead of like a specific national anxiety, you know? Like the whole thing with like the alien, or the the Gremlins are basically aliens. Like they come out of an alien egg, and they're like, if we read it as like a representation, a physical manifestation of technologies, like sort of a body horror thing, then like they're basically like almost spectral figures or whatever.
That's so weird because like when like because I'm only thinking about it now. I was just looking back at my notes when I was watching it. I was seeing like see the way like when Gizmo reproduces, it's really quick and it's cost effective because it's only water. So like Gizmo reproduces with like a natural resource, basically free. You can make as many of these as you want, cheap. And then the dad's reaction is, "Oh, we'll sell them." And we'll replace the American, like they'll replace the dog as the household pet, whatever. So like a dog is a product in this, like in the way that he's talking about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's the danger of reproducing something on the cheap. Like you have to put in the work properly, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's tied to China in this way in the film, I think it's a very, like I read it as a kind of like vaguely racist film about Chinese products and how you can't trust them because they're wildly produced, and like they'll turn sinister.
Yeah, I actually the exact same note pretty much from the when his only reaction to like no one seems to
be worried or like
I acknowledge the fact that it's like a mogwai, like what, like no one's like, what is this?
Yeah,
they're just like, oh, that's cool. Like
it's just like the 3 rules is like don't give them water, don't feed them after dark, and don't give them in the sunlight. And they don't even question like why.
Yeah, it's just like okay. And even like Corey Feldman, like he's in the film. Yeah, as a kid, and he's shown the mogwai, and then they spill water on him and he starts producing gremlins, obviously.
But he's like freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, he's like giving birth basically, and he's like screaming and shit like the mogwai. But like Corey Feldman's character just like turns away and starts like reading a comic book. He's like, oh, that's cool, But he's like trapped up in this like obsession with
it being a product.
Yeah, consuming things. And then he goes downstairs, and I don't know if it's at that time, but anyway, when the father reacts to the mogwai, his first reaction is just, we can like, how can we sell
make
this?
Money off this?
How can we commodify this? And I read it as like very differently in terms of when at the end, when the Chinese guy comes back to take his mogwai back,
he's like, you fuckers, he's you like, fucked up. Like he's like, 3 people are dead at the very least, and you blew up a fucking cinema.
Yeah, people are dead, and he's like, you are not ready, But I saw that as it's more of a like American commodification itself is something that is like,
we're not ready for that. We're not ready for that level.
We're not ready to appreciate things as anything more than commodities. Yeah, and like that's what the father, and that's what the father says.
He literally says, "This is what your society does to you."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's almost like it's definitely not a capitalist critique, but it seems to me that that's basically what he's saying. He's like, you wanted to commodify the gremlin or to commodify the mogwai, and it went wrong because of that. You're not ready. Maybe Billy is ready, but that can wait for Gremlins too.
Yeah, that can wait for the sequel.
Yeah.
That's so because like when I watched it, I kind of forgot that he does say that you're not ready for it, because when I was watching, I was thinking this is America saying, like, this is like the filmmaker, or like the story within the story is America stay to its fucking self and we'll buy our own products. China can keep its own stuff because the Chinese man comes back and he takes the mogwai back. So it's like, you stay to your side, we'll stick to ours, we'll keep buying our own goods because that's what's reliable. Anything else that's foreign, do not buy. Because especially when it's in the 80s and you're in like a recession.
That's like the whole backdrop of the American dream collapsing or whatever. The dawn of neoliberalism. They really expand upon it in Gremlins 2.
When did Gremlins 2 come out? Was that the 90s?
I think that was like 1990.
Yeah.
But it's like set in New York.
I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember seeing that as a kid.
Yeah, it's set in like an office block as well.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot to talk about there, but we can leave that till next week. But I always read it as like sort of respectful of the mogwai. I don't think they're trying to say this is a cheap product that fucking goes wrong. I think it's more like we have to first be like wary of technology, or to like appreciate what it can do, or like maybe its autonomous capacity to sort of be self-interested and mischievous and disregard what we want it to do. And also like there are some things that like maybe we can't appreciate within our society, like certain limitations from the way that we see these things. and the dad sort of embodies that in the way that he can only appreciate the Mogwai in terms of its value in terms of capital.
Yeah.
Like how he can enrich himself through the Mogwai rather than, oh shit, there's a fucking weird elf thing in my living room, like,
Yeah.
and it's producing little goblins. Like, isn't that pretty cool, you know? But he's only like, I just want to sell this to other people,
Yeah.
you know?
I think as well, like, the fact that he is an inventor, like, he's not even an inventor. He's taking ideas and combining them together.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is like a real lazy form of like actually coming up with something useful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's his failure because he's not putting in the time properly. He's trying to do an easy, cheap version of coming up with a new idea.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he keeps failing. Similarly to how Gizmo is a cheap, reliable producer of goods.
Yeah, yeah. Gizmo's like the capitalist dream. He reproduces himself
With
automatically.
magic.
Yeah, just with like.
But that goes against capitalism as a whole.
It's too easy almost.
It's too easy. It's
know?
the idea of like magic.
Uh-huh.
And why like during the witch trials and all, like magic was seen as something dangerous because you could get something for nothing, which goes completely against capitalism.
Yeah. I also like the part where, because there are elements to it that are like smart about what it is. There's a part towards the end where they're in the theater and the Gremlins are like watching a movie.
That bit is so weird.
Yeah, it's really bizarre because it's nothing to do. Like if you were in 1984 and you're in the cinema and you watched the first half an hour of the film and then just skipped ahead and went to this, you'd be like, I'm watching a completely different film altogether.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
Because they're just sitting there laughing, watching movies, and Billy and Kate are like in the back trying to like sabotage the theater and burn it down.
Blow it up. They're trying to Quentin Tarantino them.
Yeah, they're trying to do a QT job on it, but they get found out because I think the projector fails, and the Gremlins see their shadows against the projector basically.
It's too late though.
And there's a point, but there's a shot where the Gremlins tear through the projector or the cinema screen,
yeah.
the screen, yeah, and they're coming straight at the
audience.
Yeah, at the audience, at the main characters and the audience, and it's like because there's a big thing about television in the film, like towards the end where the China guy comes back from to claim Gizmo.
Yeah, he literally comments, "Oh, you taught him. All
Yeah.
you did was teach him to watch TV."
Yeah, you taught him to watch TV.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
He says like, "You taught him to watch TV. That's what's wrong with your society."
Yeah, and it's almost like the passing of the representation into the real. It's like the technology has become its own sort of thing, or the image has become its own. The commodity has, I don't know, manifested itself in the real world, and this is what happens with the Gremlins.
Yeah, as a whole, because Gremlins, like Gizmos, are huge.
Yeah.
I don't know what the toys are actually. Furbies.
Yeah.
They're like basically. They're basically
Mogwais. Yeah.
Like I don't know if they came out before or after, but like I always assumed that they're like tied together because they did become like they sold toys afterwards of Gizmo and all.
Of course, Gizmo is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
And I guarantee people fucking bought it, but like it's that thing.
I had one, yeah.
That's the entire point of the film, like buying. Yeah,
consumer society.
Consumer society, yeah. But yet the Mogwai themselves are consumable.
Yeah. But they're like, the whole point is like obviously that they're not just commodities.
Just that,
yeah. There's something else. There's something mysterious about that old guy from China, and he's trying to hint at it. But we're like
magic.
But we're like, he's just a crazy Oriental guy, you know. And Gizmo's great. And even the fact that Billy works in a bank and stuff.
Yeah.
There's little things.
There's loads in it
that sort of hint towards something. The movie never really comes around to any sort of coherent kind of reading in that sense. But there is.
It goes around it a bit.
Yeah, there's like, it sort of teases you. It's like, oh, this is a bit interesting. Like, this is a bit weird to have in a film that is like this, you know?
Going back to what you were saying about the fact that like It's a Wonderful Life and these like old American black and white films are in Gremlins. I think that's a really interesting tie to. I guess it kind of goes more into my reading of it, but like Gizmo is like tied to the idea that America is great.
Yeah.
Because when he's going off to save Billy, he imagines himself in an American film, and he watches American films,
and he carries an American flag.
And he does
at one point, yeah.
like he does all these things. So he's like, that's why it's like you're not ready for this ability of like making cheap, reliable labor because America hasn't figured that out yet. We can't trust the Chinese to give it to us, but we ourselves need to figure that out.
Mm.
So but Gizmo is our closest. Is like our Gizmo is America's closest tie to that.
Yeah, yeah.
But and that's why he's sound. That's why he's the likable one.
That's what Gizmo's sound.
Gizmo is sound. When
He's
when
dead
he
on, man.
like when
He
he
actually is.
reproduces all the rest of them, they're all fucking arseholes.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're entitled bollockses because they've only just been born. Gizmo's been in a cage in a Chinese man's shop
Yeah.
with a fucking towel over him for God knows how long.
Yeah, yeah. And it's even at the end, he's like, maybe one day you'll be ready for Gizmo.
And
Until then,
he doesn't care. He's
until
fine with it.
yeah, until then he'll be waiting. It's like, how long is Gizmo gonna wait? You know,
Gizmo,
like, how
but
old
Gizmo's
is he?
chilled.
Gizmo is
Gizmo
chill as fuck.
Is chilled as fuck. He never stresses, except for when he's up against a dartboard and they start throwing darts at him. That's the only time he
That was
stresses.
so sad.
That was so fucked up.
Yeah.
When the man went in and just nuked, like literally nuked one of them,
Yeah, yeah.
and like slaughtered the other fucking three.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it is, because that kitchen scene is pretty intense, because like she's basically fighting for her life there. in
Yeah,
the
she
kitchen,
is, yeah.
You know, and she has a knife. She just stabs one of the gremlins, and you're like, this is a family film. You know, this
She
is
puts him in a microwave and blows him up.
Blows him up. Yeah, it's like, this isn't.
And Billy comes in and he kicks the gremlin so hard that he kicks his head straight off his shoulders and
Yeah.
lands it right into the fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, like Stripe is just sitting there watching his family, his brothers being massacred in front of him.
That bastard. God damn you, Stripe. But even at the end, you know, at the end where Gizmo pulls down the I don't know where it is. It's like where the sunlight,
shutters.
the sunlight comes in on the on Stripe, and he starts melting. He just like is like his whole like inner skeleton is exposed and stuff. It's like the scene in Indiana Jones.
It is like that. I was
know?
thinking about that.
And it's like, gee, like this is a bit intense for like a kids movie, you know? Like this is one of those films that like I appreciate just how far it goes as a film that should be for kids in terms of like how it goes in terms of special effects and themes and tone and stuff. Like it doesn't have to do any of that stuff, but it does anyway, you know?
Mm. Special effects are great.
They actually are, yeah.
They're really good.
They did a very good job.
They did.
Uh-huh.
I like this film.
I love it. I think it's really good, you know? It's one of my favorites.
I rated
Or not
it-
one of my favorites, but like
I rated it a 3 on Letterboxd. Might bump that up to a 4.
I'll definitely give it 3.5.
Yeah.
Something like that. 4 maybe.
I don't because like when I think of a 4, I think of an 8. I'm like, this is not an 8, it's a 7.
It is, yeah, yeah.
But because I like to do full stars,
yeah,
it's not a 4 star, it's a 3 star.
Yeah, it's more of a 3-star than a 4, but it's still.
It's
I
still
think-
really good.
yeah.
It's a really good 3 star.
Yeah. We definitely have to look at the second one. Second one is a lot of it goes in an interesting direction anyway.
We'll have to look at it.
We
We will
will.
look at it. We
We
will
will.
look at it. And now we're on to listener questions, isn't it?
I think you're right.
I think so.
I think it's time for it's way louder than the other.
There was no break there, Mark. Just
Yeah, it's
seamless.
It's time for listener questions.
I think so. If you want to ask us a question, you can hit us up at Instagram or at the Twitter, and it's at paro_pod, or you can send us an email like Matthew Eustace, who told us that we suck. Thanks for that, Matthew. You can send us an email and tell us that we suck. At the email address theparopod@gmail.com.
That's it. That is it. Our first question comes in from Coleman. Thank you for the question, Coley.
Thank you, Cody.
Have you seen The Queen's Gambit on Netflix?
Nope.
Neither have I.
No. I think I will watch it over Christmas.
I've heard many good things, though.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Absolutely. I've heard good things. It's one of those premium kind of miniseries kind of things that Netflix
Netflix are great at.
Yeah, maybe HBO and like those kind of places started, but Netflix have sort of picked it up and they're doing the same thing. And a lot of them are misses, but they have a lot of hits as well, I think.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
OJ versus the people versus OJ.
Yeah,
That's not Netflix though, but it's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Even like I can't even think of another one. What other ones were there? I'm thinking of Chernobyl, but that's HBO.
They did the Ted Bundy thing. That was good. I really liked that.
Oh yeah, Making a Murder and stuff like that. But they're way longer now.
Yeah, they picked up Unsolved Mysteries, which I loved, and I liked the new series as well. They're not really fictional series. They picked up Arrested Development, which is actually shite, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of it. Yeah, you see what I mean?
Actually
You can't think of any. Like I think of Stranger Things, but again, that's like a full series. I'm trying to think of like mini series.
Full series are basically, Similar enough, aren't they?
I guess so, because they are short, like
Yeah.
short seasons.
But
And then with HBO do that, like
Better Call Saul.
Better Call. Oh yeah, but like that's a full series again though.
True. Okay, maybe Queen's Gambit is a one-off, but anyway, I probably will watch.
But it's of that vein though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's the premium TV kind of thing.
It's like the night of Chernobyl in that.
Yeah,
quick,
exactly.
short, simple.
The thing that Breaking Bad started, Queen's Gambit's carrying on that tradition.
But see, Queen's Gambit could get. I feel like because it's Netflix, it could get a second season.
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, why wouldn't it?
What's that one with the Russian doll? There you go. There's another.
Oh, I don't know that one.
That was really good.
Was it?
But they were shorter episodes. They're like 20, 30 minutes long.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
I'd love to see it.
But I'm gonna watch it because it's like that. It is that premium, and it's short. It's super short, but it's high budget.
Yeah, high quality. Yeah, good actors. Like they have Anna Taylor-Joy. I think
She's in The Witch.
She's in The Witch. She's in Queen's Gambit. She's great.
She's great.
Her eyes are so far apart, but she's a great actress.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's
Yeah.
a really, really good actor.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what's your favorite miniseries though?
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Nice. My favorite is probably True Detective.
That's a series.
So, it's a miniseries.
I mean, yeah.
I don't recognize the later two seasons.
Fair though, yeah. No, because I think True Detective would have worked better if it was just its own thing.
Just the one thing, Like it works as an anthology, but the second two seasons are so bad that you can't.
I just finished season 3. That was the slowest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, season 3 actually isn't bad at all, but it's just.
Oh, Mark, it is so slow.
It's just slow and nothing really happens, and he's just it's just a standard detective story, which is just not what you want. See, what distinguished the first one, as we talked about countless times before, is obviously the fact that it alludes to something else beyond it.
Lovecraftian,
yeah,
in some sense.
It's not just a detective story. And maybe True Detective Season 1 sort of tells us about our present condition, the fact that we can't imagine anything beyond what already exists. Like the conventions of the neo-noir detective genre sort of bound True Detective from expanding itself into something new,
True.
It's like it reached that point where it's like, it reached that point where it's like it was about to burst into something completely new, and you're like, wow, this is about to happen. But then it's like the gravitational pull of
convention
and complete imaginative desolation in our present contemporary society destroyed any hope it had of escaping the gravitational pull of convention, as you say.
That's like the first time I've ever heard you talk about that aspect of True Detective, and it's one that I never really thought about, but now that you say it, I'm like, oh shit, that's like full on in the text.
It's in there. It's right
there.
It's right there for the taking, and True Detective.
Fuck it up.
True Detective's like, nah, we're gonna stick to what we know, which I don't like. But like that's not really anything to do with the topic. But that's
no, we haven't seen Queen's Gambit though.
Yeah,
to answer the question.
Yeah, we will watch it though.
We will. It'll be coming this Christmas. It seems like a nice. I don't know. Maybe it's not cozy, but I hope it's cozy. Oh God.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into the second question, which is like 3 parts?
Okay.
This one coming in from Connor Scully. Good man. A whopper of a question. Kind of ties into stuff we were talking about before the podcast, dealing with the current HBO and Warner Brothers thing going on. So we're gonna be like tying what Connor's talking about in this question into that. But Connor asks, did Jaws and the ensuing blockbuster films that followed it ruin film? If it didn't ruin it, then did it at least make it less artistic? And then finally, in so many words, is Spielberg the capitalist tycoon that commercialized the 70s golden age? This is a fucking whopper of a question.
This is a banger. This is an absolute banger. In short, yes to all of these questions. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Right. So we'll go with the first one anyway. Right. So did Jaws and the ensuing blockbuster films that followed it ruin film?
Did they ruin film? In a way, didn't they? But not in the sense that like film's always going to be there. But it definitely consolidated who makes movies and how they're made.
Yeah.
Because it's now all controlled. It's all centralized. I think if you look at like the top grossing films every year, And you go back to like the 70s, early 70s, pretty like late 60s. It's all pretty even. Like there's no real like forerunners and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get into like Jaws made something like a billion or billion and a half or something crazy, which hadn't been done before. Highest grossing film ever, most popular film ever made. Besides what had come before with the studio system with Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind's the most popular film ever made, but it was made in a time where studios owned the actors' contracts, the sets,
The directors,
contracts,
the cinemas,
the distribution companies, everything. So basically, they took every cent that was made went straight to the
Yeah, so if you were seeing a
company.
Warner Brothers film, everyone involved in your going to see that film and you watching that film, that was all Warner Brothers. Whereas now there's like a bit of a middleman.
Yeah, after the Paramount decree, I think it was 49 or 50 or something like that. It was pretty early in the 50s or something. The US government came in, broke them all up, and they're like,
Because they're too powerful. They're making far too much money.
they're like, you've monopolized the film industry, and like that's not fair. So they broke them all up and they made them sell off to cinema chains. And so the cinemas were all, I don't know if they sold off the distribution as well, but basically the Paramount decree destroyed vertical integration. So new people were able to take on cinemas, and new people were able to come into the market as producers because the old companies didn't have as much of a share. And
which is where you get interesting films in the 60s.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get like new Hollywood, like Scorsese, Polanski, all the boys, even Lucas and stuff like that. The men who would later destroy what they'd created. You know? But it was definitely like the peak of independent cinema, where you could basically go out, like even John Carpenter, like one of the great independent movies, like Halloween, made on like a pretty small budget by a guy who's basically just out of college, but he went to college in the 60s and he got his connections there, and he made his first few films, and then he got to do that. But he wouldn't have been able to do that if there was still a studio system around. And that's what's happening today, where there's a studio system that's like, it's almost ascending now. It's not like a case of it's falling apart or it's fully instantiated itself. It's more like it's pulling itself together, where nowadays you have the companies make the films, they own the actors' contracts, the directors' contracts, and they also own how they're shown to people, like the broadcasting apparatus. So like streaming services like Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO Max, stuff like that. Amazon Prime. Yeah, Amazon Prime is the most obvious example. Like they're a shop and they have a fucking streaming service, you know.
And they have their own original content.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, you know. Like I'm an Amazon Prime subscriber.
It's shite though. There's nothing on it, man.
Nah, it has X-Files, so I'm gonna keep subscribing. And it has Shrek 1 and 2. But
even now TV as well.
Yeah, Now TV, which is Warner, isn't it?
That's
our HBO Max, you know. But that's the thing. These days, they're cutting out the middleman. So Warner are going to produce films or whatever, and they're going to release them, but they're going to put them out. They're going to completely undercut the cinemas that show them. So all the small businesses and the cinema chains are going to lose out on revenue, because their revenue at this stage is basically controlled by 4 or 5 big companies.
Yeah.
The blockbusters that everyone goes to see, because people don't really go to see independent films.
No, people. Yeah, that's why. Because like when I first thought about it, I was like, it's only going to really hurt like independent cinemas and stuff like that, because they really rely on, films like Marriage Story, which was on Netflix, but like films like Marriage Story, these like not your Avengers, you're like mid tier, like well known.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like a Scorsese film or something like that. Not a blockbuster, but like, gonna bring people to the cinema. But again, like kind of off the mainstream in a way. I would like, you know what I mean?
Something that like families wouldn't go out to see.
Yeah.
But like
not a fucking Disney, Pixar, or Marvel film.
Yeah.
Strange enough, all owned by Disney.
All Disney films basically. Yeah, that's the thing. Like most of the big companies are names that you wouldn't have heard of. Like most normal people wouldn't have heard of. Like they're just, because things are so consolidated, but they're consolidated within like a tree of different companies. Like every company has like 3 different companies below it.
Yeah. And
it goes all the way up to like one big yoke, which no one is accountable to no one basically, and no one knows about. And they control most of the things and most of the revenue streams. And you can't think about cinema chains. Like you feel bad for cinema chains for being cut out of the revenue there, but you also can't think of them in terms of all as one block. Like there will be major chains like Cineworld and like
Odeon.
Odeon, I suppose. I think Cineworld's already closed down here, but like they're basically reliant and basically subservient to companies like Disney and Warner, because if they don't show the right films in the right way, then they'll be cut off. So like they're basically act as Disney and Warner and like big company franchises, whereas the smaller cinemas don't have any power whatsoever. Like they have to, you know, the more things concentrate at the top, the more they'll have to play along.
But that's why they get they show the indie films like that.
Yeah,
where they don't have to like fulfill these like requirements.
Yeah. But the more things sort of come together at the top, the less power these people have, because they can't. They still, as much as they show, you know, the marriage stories or like the indie films and stuff like that most people wouldn't go to see. They still have to show
like Moonlight. Moonlight is the example I can think now.
Yeah, like you go to Lighthouse and they still show like Avengers and stuff.
Yeah,
they still show the main films because people go to see it and they need the money. But the more of those films are all owned by the same company, which is the case right now, the less power those cinemas have and those small businesses have in terms of exerting their own sort of you know, creative license to show whatever they want. So it's more about just every cinema becomes more of just a franchise to show the latest you know, blockbuster part 18 or whatever, you know. It's not about what's shown, it's about how quickly and how like effectively you can get this product into the hand of the consumer, and that's all the cinema does, rather than, you know, a place to meet people and a place to you know, share in like a collective experience.
But I would argue that most people go to the cinema now for that reason. Like people don't go to the cinema to just see, you know, Marriage Story or like Moonlight. You're not gonna like, people don't go to the cinema just to watch those films most of the time. Maybe Moonlight because it won Best Picture, but you know, films like that.
Yeah,
like see, this year is such a terrible example. Knives Out, right? Knives Out didn't get that much, like, well, I think it got an Oscar nomination. It doesn't matter. Knives Out. That's the example we're going with. People just went to the cinema to see that because it was an original film and they could go to the cinema, as opposed to see Knives Out.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do with the film, which is like, I think most people as well, like, because I don't do that. Like, if going to the cinema isn't like a regular thing really for me. So if I'm going to the cinema, the film is like key to that choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas most people that do go to cinema, people that go to the cinema go all the time basically. So it's not about going to see a film, it's about going to the cinema. So that's not going to really change, I don't think. But it is as you said though, that all the streaming is going to be like vertical now, because like they're going to be owning it anyway.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give you that option of like independent cinemas because of that reason.
Yeah, you can only go a certain, you know, you can only give money directly to the producer.
Yeah, that's where I think like this like most affects independent cinemas.
Yeah, that's sort of what I mean. Like,
yeah.
like most people.
I didn't think about it in the way that you were describing it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Most people don't go to the cinema, like full stop.
Yeah.
And most people don't go to the cinema. And most people that do go to the cinema don't go to see the films that we see. You know, like most people don't go to see Marriage Story, like Knives Out, or like
they go to see fucking Endgame.
They go to see Endgame and shit. But like they go to see Endgame and then they don't go to the cinema for the like another 2 months or whatever. Like
like that's a spectacle film.
Yeah.
That is a blockbuster, which I think, like, to tie it back into now with Connor's question, like, I think like Jaws is like the example where film, like the power like sways back into like the people that make the films, or like not the people that make the studios, like Disney or whatever, because they recognize, oh shit, you actually rely, like the cinemas made a lot of money obviously during Jaws, whatever, but like you rely on us to bring people to you.
Yeah, it's not so much about the event or the experience of being at the cinema. It's about what's projected on the screen that you see, which is a complete like inversion of the way that it should be, I suppose. Like cinema should be about,
it doesn't become
a collective experience rather than
in the most pretentious fucking way you can describe it. It becomes less about the art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not about what's because like cinema is about this experience basically. Like for me anyway, whenever I go to cinema, it's always like an event.
It is an event.
It's something that happens, and like even today,
it's something special.
Yeah, no matter how often you go, like it's still an event. But like, nowadays is more, or especially with consolidation, it's more about what's played on the screen. It doesn't matter if that's in a cinema or a theater or like a drive-in or whatever. It's about like it could be on like a your phone screen or your laptop, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, like changing media, but the way that it's controlled by different companies or a certain I don't even know the names of the companies that control
It's Warner's, Disney,
Universal.
No, Universal are owned by someone else.
Warner, isn't it? Yeah, or something like that.
No, there's like Telecom or something. So just off the top of my head, Mark, the big six: National Amusement, Disney, fucking Time Warner, Comcast, News Corp, and Sony.
Yeah, see, no one, I guarantee no one listening to this has ever heard of National Amusements. But they own like Nick and fucking Viacom and stuff like that.
They own loads.
Yeah,
Paramount.
Yeah.
They own MTV. And then Disney, obviously, everyone knows what Disney owns at this stage. Time Warner, HBO, yeah, there we go. CNN, Warner Bros. Mad, Cartoon Network. Fucking loads. And then we're going to Comcast. They own NBC, Bravo, Illumination, Focus. They own DreamWorks. They own Shrek.
They own Shrek. That's too far.
They own Universal as well and Hulu. Like there's tons of shit.
Yeah.
And then News Corp, Fox, which is actually Fox is now gone to Disney, so this is actually an old one. National Geographic they own, but I guess like that's all Disney. So Disney owned by News Corp or just
they must
Fox?
have bought News Corp, yeah. And actually, no, I think
that's Rupert Murdoch's company.
I think they bought over most of that, but I think Fox News and stuff like that, like the actual news media, is still owned by Rupert Murdoch.
That's so weird. Fucking hell.
You see, he knows where all the power is,
Yeah. And then Sony owns everything Sony, which is a surprising more amount than what you think it is. Like just looking at this, I'm like, there's 4 different like production or distribution companies on this.
Like what?
Like those symbols there, all the Sony ones there. I recognize all of them, but they're all different things.
Yeah,
they're not the one company, but they all have vaguely the same logo. Like there's loads, and then True, and then TriStar and shit like that. But like that's the thing, like these 6 companies own like everything.
Everything, yeah.
Like literally everything you watch is from one of these 6 companies.
Yeah, everything. But if you think about the way the screen is mixed up with reality these days, especially the last 8 months. Most of what we've experienced has been based off the screen, Most of what everyone's experienced. But everything that you own, or not everything that you've seen on those screens, is owned by about 50 people.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make any sense whatsoever. So, to answer the question...
Did Spielberg involve this? Yeah.
Oh, in like the first one.
Did it ruin film? I don't think it ruined film, but it ruined cinema. Like I think that's 2 different things. Like cinemas got ruined from that. That was the turning point for cinemas.
I think it has an effect on film as well. Like cinemas are just a medium through which film passed through.
Yeah, but like
because
okay,
you can't make a film. It's way harder to make a film right now than it was back in the day.
Right, but that's where I want to go because then he asked if it didn't ruin it, they at least make it less artistic. Now,
yeah, there you go.
If you only look at American films, yeah, it did. If you look outside, because I think that's where, like we talked about before, the rise in like French cinema, the rise in like now Korean, Japanese, like Taiwanese, all these other like Indian films are all coming out more now. More Italian films and like French films and German films and like Brazilian Brazilian cinema and like Nollywood films and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that's coming out now because people are sick of American cinema.
Yeah. Well, it's also like the technologies like none of that is available in 1980s Nigeria or like Brazil or India, Like whereas now it is. It's not to the same quality, and like I wouldn't watch most of that stuff. Like
no, I wouldn't watch I would watch some of them. Like
I wouldn't watch Nollywood or India, but
I think it's just but like I'm sure there's ones in there that you'd fucking love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
there definitely is, but like it's just like, but it's just because we are so consumed by American media, and it's easier to find out about like Korean films and stuff like that, especially when Parasite wins fucking Best Picture. It's easier to find out about that type of shit, and easier to find out about like French films and stuff like that because it's like European and it's within the same context, whatever. But like, how like far do you have to trudge through to find like a Bollywood film that you want to know is good or whatever, or like a Nollywood film? These like cinemas that are out there that I'm sure are amazing, but it's so much work to like go through, and the films are so long.
Yeah,
Bollywood films are all like 3 hours long.
Yeah, I don't think like Chinese or like Indian cinema is actually really good. Like,
There's Chinese cinemas can be Chinese cinema can be great.
Yeah, but they have the same problem where it's just like they have the state obviously that like do produce cinema, or like at least they have a lot of like creative control over cinema. So a lot of what goes on there seems to be just like I think the past few years like Chinese films have been one of like the highest grossing films like in the world. But like I remember like looking at a few of them, like not watching but just like reading about them, and they just sound fucking terrible. Like they just
like Edward Yang films, I haven't watched them, but like they're meant to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's loads of good ones, but like I think it's more of a problem of like accumulation of productive power rather than like a problem necessarily just with Western media. Like I think there's definitely an issue of like people in Brazil and like India and China still all watch Avengers. Like maybe not in China because
no, they do.
Do they have Avengers in China? Oh, sure. I suppose Disney makes stuff.
Disney makes sure that they do.
Yeah. But like, you know, like that's the thing. Like Disney still make all the stuff just so it reaches all these different places, and that's a problem. Also, like the fact that this one company needs to appeal to the entire globe because they control basically everything that the people see. So, you know, basically we need a new Paramount decree.
Yeah, we need to break these up.
Yeah, break it up. You know, break it up. Get a new system. You know, sell off the streaming services. Sell Netflix to a fucking, you know, I don't know, a cinema chain. You know, let Odeon run Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, Odeon.
Or fucking I don't know, Nick.
I know what you know. Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
But do you think then do you think that cinema became less artistic?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, after the 80s, yeah. Or, well,
I think that's such a nah.
No. I think in terms of how what we see on the daily, like what's shown in cinemas, definitely. Like independent film has been fucked in the ass for the past like 40 years. But like I know what you mean.
Like that's where you gotta get.
I know what you mean in terms of like the technology is there and like most people can make a film. Just like, you know, people won't watch it, but you can make a film these days, and there's a lot more great independent films in terms of volume and stuff. And like
there's way more because like I'm just thinking like even like with this like with the like you wouldn't get a Harmony Korine film in cinemas in like before Blockbusters or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Blockbusters created this.
Oh no, you definitely get that in cinemas.
But like not like a trash humpers or something.
Yeah, not trash.
But like what I'm saying is
that's like an artistic
Blockbusters nearly created this need in people to find more weird films. Like we're like there are like knowledge, I guess, quotation marks over knowledge there, but like our knowledge in cinema comes from not really enjoying blockbusters, so it's easy to shit on them. But you gotta recognize the fact that like if you were into blockbusters, you wouldn't. Obviously some of them, like that's such a broad assumption, but the majority of people that go to cinema and go to see blockbusters probably don't know about like I don't know, like fucking David Lynch. Even like someone like that well known, they might not know or have seen a David Lynch film, but because that we're into film, because we're not really into like blockbusters that much, we know about the David Lynches, we know about like Japanese cinema and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's definitely like a thing of like fracturing and stuff, like subcultures,
and that's where you get film bro films. Like
we definitely live in like a fucking cloistered subculture where like we both like intuitively know sort of the same films.
Yeah.
I'm sure most people that listen to this sort of know what we're talking about as well. But like the mainstream sort of thing is different to that as well. And there's like different sort of, you know, Harry Potter people and stuff like that, like weird sort of like whereas before is more like centralized, which sort of goes against the fact that it was the productive capacity was more equal.
Yeah.
Like whereas today's it's more like central, but like we have more distinguished tastes. I know what you mean by that, But in terms of like what we see like day to day in cinema and like what we're exposed to, I think it's like it's more narrow. Maybe like I know what you mean. Maybe not as narrow.
Like if you want to find it,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, definitely if you want to find it, but I don't think that's very useful. I think because basically we only go after what we're shown, and what we're shown is controlled by about like obviously like 6 companies.
But I think as well, like
companies.
one of the important things we have to notice, like one of the biggest films of last year was Parasite, which is part of this like weird thing that we're talking about here. Like, like you might have asked me, have you ever heard Bong Joon-ho like a year ago before like Parasite came out or whatever? Most people probably have no idea who the fuck he is. I say most people that go to cinema or like went to see Avengers, whatever. Most of them probably didn't even know who the fuck he was. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I knew that he directed Snowpiercer. I was like, oh shit, that's the director of Snowpiercer.
Yeah, same, yeah.
That's a fucking English language film. I didn't know any of his Korean films. So like, and yet Bong Joon-ho is like is now a name that everyone fucking knows, and people are like, oh shit, Parasite's really good. What else is there in like Korean cinema, and what else is there gonna be in like Japanese or whatever? And you come across these films like fucking, I can't even think of one off the top of my head. Like fucking really good. One Cut of the Dead. That's the one that came to my head there. Like something like that.
Yeah, it is a thing, but I feel like again it's like a cloistered sort of thing. Like,
it is.
Like people like we'd be interested in that, but most people don't care. Like most people probably heard of Parasite, but they haven't seen it.
I said most people didn't want to watch it. Then I said a lot of people didn't want to watch it because it won a fucking Oscar. Like I don't want to watch a foreign language film. I don't want to have to watch. I don't have to like,
and shit,
read while I watch a film. Which I think is like I used to be like that, but like you literally don't even like once like you're into a film, you don't even notice the subtitles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was the same. I wasn't too into it, or like it was like a detraction, like a negative of a film. But like once you get into it, it's grand.
Same as like black and white isn't really a negative now.
Yeah. But
whereas if when I was a kid, I was not watching a black and white film.
Yeah, but I almost disagree with it, or I've turned back on my original thing for the artistic thing. But it has led to a consolidation, I think, with it, which is not conducive to any sort of creative thought.
No.
And the third part of that question
is Spielberg the capitalist tycoon that commercialized the 70s golden age?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. Like him and Lucas,
Jaws,
and whatnot.
All the boys, they were in
Not
there.
to say that he didn't make good films, but like he did do that.
Gremlins is great.
No, his own films like Indiana Jones,
oh yeah,
E.T. stuff like that. Like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but just the fact.
But they're all blockbusters as well. But like they're really fucking good films. It helps.
Yeah, they're good films. Yeah, absolutely. But it's just
it helps when your blockbusters are a really good film.
Yeah, but it also would have helped if you didn't do that.
Yeah.
If you just maybe they weren't just as successful. But he can't really control that. He's just one guy. He's just one billionaire.
Also wants to get rich.
He just wants to get rich. He's just a student. Like, he's one of the new Hollywood guys.
Yeah.
He's one of the also rans of like Lucas and like Coppola and all them.
Yeah.
And then just burst onto the scene with Jaws. Like, can't blame him for going like, I'm gonna run with this.
I'm gonna run with this and then make Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, have a heavy intake in Star Wars, like some of the best films ever made. And he's involved in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Gremlins.
Like
he's involved in so many things. So like
he's got fingers in every pie.
So like at least because he was a capitalist tycoon of the thing, like commercialized the whole cinema industry. But he also gave us Gremlins.
Absolutely.
And he gave us these weirder films.
He has his perks. But he definitely, I think overall, definitely a negative effect. But,
especially in his last 20 years making films.
Jesus,
he hasn't come out with a good film in years.
Ready Player One, even AI, back to AI.
Lincoln. AI is shite.
Lincoln, shite. Ready Player One, obviously, shite. I don't know what else he's made. He signed off on the Jurassic Park remakes.
He did a Tom Cruise film, I think. Minority Report.
Yeah. I think he had a hand in that.
I haven't seen that, but
not have I. Yeah.
Like, yeah, everything he's done. War Horse.
Why?
Like War Horse. Who remembers War Horse?
It's just watch the musical. Like, You know,
or just stay away from it altogether.
just don't.
Just don't watch it. It's about a horse, like, like come on, you deserve better.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't made a good film in fucking years.
Yeah, he needs to retire.
He really does.
He needs to be broken up.
He himself needs to be broken up.
The Spielberg decree. That's what we need. You know.
I know what you mean. I think it's my time for a recommendation.
Let's go.
I think.
What are you thinking?
About starting off the new year. I want to start off with a bang. I've been flip-flopping back and forth between 2 different films, but I'm going to settle on Sorry to Bother You. It's on Netflix. Have you seen it?
I have not. No.
It's great.
I'll have a look.
Take notes.
I've been recommended it many times.
Got to watch it. No, you have to watch it.
Absolutely, I definitely will.
You got a deadline. But yeah, it's on Netflix. Definitely watch that film. Very, very good. Good critique on a lot of different things.
Is that Boots Riley, the director?
It is, I think. Yeah, I believe so.
He's a king.
Yeah,
he is a king.
And the guy, the main in it is he's in the new Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh shit! Yeah,
he's the main character in that, or the like rat in that.
Oh,
don't know the character's name, so he plays the rat in it.
He's the rat. Fuck him.
But he's the main in this as well.
Yeah,
he's very, very good.
I'll have to. So I'll be giving it a look.
Check it out. There. Yeah. That's the end of the episode. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. Great Christmas vibes here.
It's nice and toasty in here.
Yeah, it's getting toasty. Oh, that fire's sort of dying out. Might stick another log in there.
Turn off that lamp there. That salt lamp. Yeah, but it gives off the nice hue of... Oh, actually, we should have the Netflix thing with the fire going on in the background.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, have you ever seen that before?
No.
Oh, Mark, we should have done that.
Get that up. What? We could review this.
There we go. The fire is crackling here. That actually made such an effect to the room.
Yeah, it actually does. Nah, we should have had that the entire time. That's so atmospheric. Yeah, that's so cool. But yeah, the Yule log is crackling right here on the screen. Really fitting.
It really is.
And you love to see it.
You love to see it.
You love to see it. It's a great Christmas vibe. Hope you're all having a great Christmas.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.